Today's topic is lending. For those of you who are thinking about shopping for a home and you're wondering what questions to ask and what's available, I have invited Trevor Hill. He is a mortgage loan originator with Foundation Mortgage, and I've worked with him. He's wonderful and knowledgeable. He was born and raised in Maryville, Tennessee, so he's a local, and he's a member of the Air National Guard. So thank you for your service, Trevor.
Oh, thank you.
Let's get right to the topic. What's out there for lending? Some people are thinking about buying houses. Can you give us a little summary of kind of where interest rates are, where they've been, and what it looks like today?
The market is actually seeing a decrease in interest rates, a reaction to the stock market. As the stock market does worse and comes down a little bit, and overall in the market and the economy sees a decline, it's actually lining up quite well to get you into the buying mood here in the spring. But FHA and conventional are going to be completely different rates.
Can you explain the difference between an FHA loan and a conventional loan?
With your FHA and your government loans, you're going to see lower fours is where we're kind of sitting as far as interest rates right now. If you're in the top tier credit and you come at it with a credit score of say 680 or higher, we might be able to get it down to the threes. And that's going to be with our FHA and USDA product. Conventional products are going to see more of the higher to mid fours. And if you're going in as an investment property on that, you can go up into the fives.
You mentioned investment property. Can you explain the difference between an investment property and just a normal purchase of a home?
Oh, of course. So we have three categories that we really deal with here at our broker, and that's primary purchase, secondary home, and then investment property. The investment property just means that you don't have the intention of living that home, but you have the intention of renting that home out to make a profit.
I know from my own experience that since Foundation Mortgage is a lending broker rather than just a straight lender, you have some unique products to offer. Can you speak to that?
We do have a lot of different lenders that we use as a broker here in the area, and that kind of makes us unique, especially here to the East Tennessee area, because you don't see a whole lot of mortgage brokers here local. But as a broker, we work with several lenders, and each of those lenders is going to have their own niche or their own area of expertise. What that does for us is it gives us the availability to be a little bit more aggressive and interest rate savvy for each person in their significant scenario. Because we're a mortgage broker, you're also going to see even lower rates now because those lenders are starting to compete with each other even more. So overall, that conventional FHA product is going to be more competitive than ever moving into the spring.
We've mentioned several options for financing, but if someone doesn't have any down payment, if they have good credit, they have steady income, but they just don't have the savings to put down 3, 5, or 10%, what are their options?
There's a few places that you can turn for that. So conventional is going to have a down payment requirement. First-time home buyer, you're looking at 3% down. FHA, all the time, going to be a minimum of 3.5% down. But we do have a couple options outside of that, which we would move towards if you don't have any down payment. One of those is the USDA loan. That USDA product's a great product. It's one of the best products out there for people that are trying to start and get into a home but just don't have the investment to make. What that's going to look like on our side, though, is you're going to have to see a 640 FICO score, which is the bare minimum. You will have to be in that rural area. Definition of rural is completely changing as Knoxville grows. So you're going to have to get with an experienced realtor like yourself that knows exactly what those lines look like. And that map is ever changing.
And in some cases, the properties that qualify for USDA loans is really quite surprising. They're in really desirable neighborhoods. Maryville recently had a whole section that was removed from the maps because the maps were so old that it pretty much covered everything. And someone got wise to that and took out some of the highest demand areas of Maryville. But there are still a lot of properties, both in Blount County and Knox County, that qualify for a USDA loan.
Yeah, a lot of people think, well, I'm going to have to find something with a bunch of acreage. We're going to go out and we're going to be in the middle of nowhere with nobody around us. And that's not always the case. The other option would be the THDA loan, which is the Tennessee Housing and Development Agency. They come in and they will provide, given that you're wanting to move forward with an FHA product, they will provide that down payment assistance for you.
I'm going to ask you to hold that conversation for another time because I have a totally separate video where I'm going to go in depth with that one because we'll save that for another time. So,
Okay.
if someone is ready to shop for a lender, what's your advice?
A few things that I see all the time. People come to us and they say, well, I've already been pre-qualified and I was told this is where I need to be. If you qualify for conventional, FHA, USDA, all these loans that I've said already, I think you should step back and say, well, let me see what that rate closing cost scenario would be at this option versus this option to see what would be the best investment for me. There's a level of expertise that comes with being in this business and having this license, but it's also best to make sure that you see the scenarios and you make the move that's best for your wallet.
Thank you for joining me today, Trevor, and for sharing all of your expertise. I'm sure that there are some people that are excited to reach out to you and find out more about what products you have available. And of course, they're always welcome to reach out to me and I'll help you find a home. Thank you,
Yeah, of
Trevor.
course. Thank you.